Everyone, myself Krishna. In this video, I am going to explain log levels in UiPath. Basically, when we build a solution in UiPath Studio, we would use the log messages to know the behavior of the application. To log the messages, we would use the log message activity. In this activity, basically we can have 5 types of log levels. Those are trace, info, warn, error and fatal. Right? So when I run this process, I can see all the log levels in the output panel. But when I publish this code in the UiPath orchestrator, what kind of logs needs to be displayed in the orchestrator logs, that can be based on the log level setting in the UiPath assistant. So let me open the UiPath assistant and see the setting. So this is the UiPath assistant. If you go to the preferences and the general tab, you would find the log level drop down. In the drop down, you would find 7 types of log levels. Those are off, critical, error, warning, information, trace and verbose. So based on these log level settings, the process logs can be generated in the orchestrator logs. I have created one process which would containing all the log level information. Let me run this process and see the output in the output panel. If you go to the output panel, you would find all the log level information, right? So I have deployed this process in UiPath orchestrator, and let's change the log level options one by one and see the log information in UiPath orchestrator logs. So initially I am selecting log level as off. So what would happen when you select this option? If you select the log level as off, the process can be executed but no logs will be generated. Let's run the process and see the result. So if you go to the UiPath orchestrator, there were no process was executed. So let's run the process and see the result. If you go to the jobs, then the process got executed. If you go to the view logs for this job, no logs were generated, right? Let's check the another log level, critical. What would happen when you select the critical log level? If you select critical, only fatal type log levels will be logged into the orchestrator logs. Let's run the process and see the logs in the orchestrator. So this is the second time job. So if you go to the logs, yes, only the fatal type log levels are generated. Let's check the another option. Let's go to the preferences and general and log level error. If you select error, what kind of log levels would be generated? If you select error, only fatal and error log types will be generated. Let's see that. If you see here, only fatal and error log types are generated. If you select warning, what kind of log levels would be generated? So if you select warning, fatal, error and warning log types would be generated in the orchestrator logs. Let's see that. So process has been executed. Let's go to the jobs. This process is running, refresh and go to the view logs for this job. So if you see here, fatal, error and warning levels are generated. Let's check the another option. Information. If you select information log level in UiPath Assistant, we can get fatal error warning information and execution start message and execution end message. So let's see that. So the process has been executed. Let's go to the jobs and see the logs. So if you see here, the process execution start message and end message and fatal error warning and information log levels were generated. So let's see the another option, that is trace. If you select a log level as trace, so we would get fatal error warning information and execution start, execution end, and the trace levels would be generated in the orchestrator logs. Let's see that. Let's go to the preferences and general and log level trace, and let's run the process. Go to the UiPath orchestrator jobs and see the logs for that. So if you see here, we can have a execution start message, end message, and fatal error warning and trace and information log types, right? So the last option would be Verbose. If you select Verbose, we will get fatal error warning information, execution start, execution end, and trace and activity related logs, like the act before starting the activity, what activity is starting, and the end message of the activity. So those kind of information we would get in the orchestrator. Let's change the option in the UiPath Assistant and see the logs in the orchestrator logs. Go to the preferences and general and change the log level option to verbose, and let's run the process. Go to the UiPath orchestrator jobs and open the logs for this process. So if you see here, the execution started and the main executing and the main sequence executing the information. So all the activity related information and all the log levels are generating in the orchestrator logs. So this way we can get the orchestrator logs by changing the log level option in the UiPath Assistant. Hope this video is informative, and thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day.